Kelly Ripa has built a very successful career in the entertainment industry, and her sister, Linda, was on much the same track. Sadly, a horrible accident nearly cost her her life and her son, forever changing her life's trajectory. When Linda Ripa was 7 months pregnant with her son, Sergio, she was involved in a terrible car accident. She was running errands in Philadelphia in 1999 when a drunk driver hit her car head-on as she waited at a traffic light, spinning her vehicle into another minivan. Linda remembered those fearful moments when she and her son's lives hung in the balance, telling the New York Times, "People at the accident scene were amazing. People stayed there with me until the ambulance came. One man kept wiping blood from my face. Another person held my neck up. Many asked what they could do. I don't know who they were, but it did keep my faith in humankind." The devastating accident left Linda with several broken bones, leaving her pelvis so badly crushed that her unborn son was at risk of dying. The New Jersey native was faced with difficult decisions and chose not to take anesthetics during an operation for fear that it could harm her pregnancy. Linda's broken pelvis bones had affected Sergio so much that the unborn baby spent 4 weeks in a coma before he recovered and was delivered 7 weeks early. Luckily, apart from some breathing problems, he emerged as an otherwise healthy baby, and his miraculous recovery became a lasting inspiration for his mother and surrounding family. Linda had to endure some shocking behavior from her perpetrator's family following the harrowing accident. While attending the trial of the drunk driver who smashed into her car, his friends and family seemingly blamed her for his actions at the time. Linda recalled to the New York Times how she showed up to the court proceedings in a wheelchair and was faced with abusive insults from the man's close friends and relatives. She reflected, "They called me the names you might imagine, as if it was my fault. They really showed no remorse, and I have no doubt that he could go and do this again." Following the trial, the driver was sentenced to 6 to 24 months in jail. After the devastating collision, Linda joined forces with her sister to get involved with Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or MAD. Kelly even ended up becoming the chairwoman and celebrity spokeswoman for Taiwan On for Safety, a MAD program in which drivers fix a red ribbon on their vehicles in a promise to drive sober on holiday weekends.
Your support can save a life. Call 1-800-GET-MAD.
Linda's new reality after her accident meant around-the-clock care. Her family's lives were also altered by the tragedy, as her parents, Joseph and Esther, became her full-time caretakers and helped to raise Sergio while Linda was on her road to recovery. As Kelly explained to the New York Post in 2001, "They are older and raising their grandchild. My mother is a 24-hour-a-day nurse to my sister. While Linda got the help she needed with her son, she lost out on precious moments with him." Kelly told the publication that her sister had trouble walking and wasn't able to interact as much with Sergio due to the crash. She explained, "She will never ever know a normal life again, and there's nothing they can do." Despite adjusting to a new normal, Linda did her best to find the positives in motherhood. She relayed to the New York Times, "Though I had a career I had always wanted from when I was a girl to be a mommy. Now I know my son wonders why I can't pick him up all the time, but at least I can enjoy watching him grow up." Sadly, Linda was left with even more problems after the accident. Not only did she undergo several operations after the crash, but one surgeon left her with a botched ankle. Linda filed a lawsuit against Dr. Menahem Meller, who she claimed put her under the knife without advising her of the risks or obtaining informed consent, and ultimately reset her broken bones incorrectly in her right ankle. Post-surgery, Linda had a clawed foot and was dependent on crutches. She also sustained significant nerve damage in the area that resulted in unnecessary pain. She decided to sue Meller because the surgery left her out of a job and future opportunities. At the time, she had turned down a $150,000 yearly salary working as a personal assistant for her famous sister due to her injuries. In a shocking decision, the jury awarded her $15 million in damages for the consequences she suffered after Meller's care. Although Linda had originally made an offer to settle with Meller for $2.4 million, before taking the case to court, the doctor had refused, alleging that it was her broken pelvis causing the pain, not the operation. When Linda's dreams of becoming a model or actor were stunted, she decided to try another avenue. She became an author in 2002, publishing her book, The Ladybug Blues, which she illustrated as well. While bedridden post-accident, someone handed Linda some colored pencils, and she began to remember her love of drawing from when she was a child. She shared in her New York Times interview, "My nickname as a little kid was Ladybug, so I drew some. My little nephew Mikey would come in to visit, and I would hold the papers up with my arms and draw for him, and I would tell stories to him and my son." Eventually, one of Linda's stories about a ladybug feeling different from her insect friends drew the attention of her younger relatives. She decided to write it down, and her family encouraged her to go further with it. She reflected, "I didn't think it was anything more than a story to tell Mikey and my son. I wrote and drew a few more. My father and my sister and my mother said, 'These are great. You should publish these.'" In the end, Linda's changed career path ended up being a positive experience. She reflected, "It is so rewarding to go to a reading and have all these little faces light up when you read them a story." Sergio Ripa may have had a rocky start when entering the world, but he has made the most of his life ever since. Linda's only son has pursued his dreams of being a musician, having gotten his start when he was just 11 years old. He has been recording music for over a decade, with a particular passion for playing the guitar. Sergio received his associate's degree in audio production from Camden County College in 2021 and worked for his aunt, Kelly Ripa, as a production assistant on her talk show, Live with Kelly and Ryan.
Altogether, it sounds like this.
Sergio is also a guitarist for the four-piece band Dr. Boat, which mixes funk sounds with rock and roll. The musician has clearly brought his dream of following a musical path to life, and he even posted a throwback carousel on Instagram featuring photos of himself as a preteen and an adult posing with a double neck guitar. The caption read, "These photos are 10 years apart, but nothing has changed."